Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening? I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to jump in and share some stuff that I just found. I'm doing some research on a topic. My wife asked me to co teach a class with her called The Drama Free Family, all about family issues and couple issues and stuff with kids and all that. Particularly if you have a blended family, meaning that you have, two people to come together where there are kids already involved and it's an interesting topic for me because a lot of our families are blended. A lot of our families have baby mama drama and I'm gonna tell you, having really bad relatives. I don't know if anybody can agree. Give me a yes or no if you understood the stress of having just trifling ass people in your life or trifling ass situations or just things where you're like, what is this? Like this is crazy. Well, anyway, so I was doing some research on something called parental alienation. Has anybody ever heard of parental alienation? Give me a yes or no if you've ever heard of parental alienation. Parental alienation, I'll describe it now. Raquenis and Tanisha, I see from Tanisa from Boston. Good to see you. Parental alienation is basically where one parent badmouths the other parent, like one parent's talking smack about the other parent in front of the child. Has anybody ever seen that happen? It is absolutely terrible, and it creates the worst situation because the parent that doesn't live with the child, they go pick up their kids, and the kids are being extremely disrespectful and all sorts of. And I've seen it up close. I've seen it up close enough. I'm not going to really speak to my personal situation because it affects other people. But I will say I've seen it up close enough that when I got married to Alicia, I didn't mind that she had kids. I think kids are great. Like I don't, I have enough money to support kids. It's not a big deal financially, and I just think kids are fun. But one thing I did insist on is I said if I get married, I need I need your support. I need respect. I cannot tolerate disrespect. I will not tolerate disrespect. I've had people stop. There's been young people I mentored where I was like, if you come talking crazy to me, like, don't talk to me anymore. I don't tolerate disrespect. So one of the things that becomes challenging is you have a lot of crazy situations where people are just so immature about parenting, and the black family is in a complete mess because people are selfish as shit. They don't give a damn about their kids, and they literally will use their children as little weapons to settle beefs with the other parent. Like, I'm going to punish you by not letting you see your child. Like, that's the sickest thing you could ever do. If you are in this room and you do that to anybody, if you do that at all, you're an abuser. You're just like a child molester or a child, somebody who murders kids. Like, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. That is child abuse. And I'm thinking about this topic because I'm researching parental alienation syndrome for the thing that Alicia and I are doing tomorrow. In case you want to join, if you're interested, it's called the Drama Free Family, and it's basically a 5-day intensive deep dive we're doing on best practices on how to deal with family situations where you get rid of the toxicity. You can have healthy relationships. All these problems that you have with your family can be solved. Every single problem you have with your relatives can be dealt with, but you have to want to deal with it. You have to think of it as an important thing to deal with. If you just think it's just going to fix itself, that doesn't work. Or if you try to do it yourself, there's a good chance you're going to do it wrong. So let me just give you some facts about parental alienation syndrome. This is a big deal. Typically, it happens to men because men end up being the ones who don't live in the house, and it hurts our community. That's why so many little girls get molested by their mother's boyfriends, and all this other crazy stuff happens in the hood because the fathers aren't there. When you don't have the fathers, you don't have the leaders. I'm sorry, I know people want to think that a feminine black man is the same as a masculine black man. That's just not true. I know people want to think men and women are the same and that it doesn't matter. I don't agree with that. I think good fathers are very important. Good fathers are there for protection, for guidance, for all kinds of things. In fact, my kids benefit tremendously because I'm here, because I'm consciously thinking, how can I make your life better? I give my daughters affirming words every morning. You are talented. You are special. You are amazing. I will be there for you. I will protect you. Me and their dad work together as a team. to make sure that the kids are good. There's no like, oh man, you used to be with my woman. Well, I don't care enough about that dude, right? And so, anyway, Alicia, my wife, happens to be a therapist, and she is well trained on the aspects of parental alienation. And if you want to just get a glimpse of how fucked up our family situations are, how fucked up Black relationships can get, go watch some of these, podcasts where people are literally enjoying, like getting off on watching Black men, like they love it. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of things that, for example, Kevin Samuels might say are good things, like to a point. But there are people who get off on watching him just tear down a Black woman, like tell her she ain't shit and she's gonna die alone and she stinks and she's ugly, and people like that, right? There's like a gender war. And then I'll go to another page, and there are women that'll clap when there's a woman that's like dogging out Black men. Black men ain't nothing, and you trifling, and y'all just do this and y'all don't do that. Like, that's just sick. Like, that's toxic behavior. That's very toxic, and it actually creates failure in your community. Your community just fails because so many people are just confused. They just don't even understand the beginnings of what good, strong families look like. Seriously, you need to go look at other communities and see what solid families look like, because this immature stuff where you have 40-year-olds acting like teenagers is your kids don't have a damn chance. So with parental alienation, which is what I might put in the category of the baby mama, baby daddy drama. One of the things I've learned, because I've actually been taking notes, like, because Alicia wants me to kind of cover these modules on parental alienation. So I've been reading academic research on it. And basically they've said that when you're alienating the other parent from the child, when you are talking negatively about the other parent to your child, you are abusing your child. They are starting to label that as child abuse. I think the terms are intimate terrorism and family violence. And I think this is very important because people always act like the women are always the victims and the men are always the aggressors. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. The men are always the bad guy. The men are always the ones who are fucking things up, and the family fell apart because Black men ain't shit or whatever. Well, you know what? There's a lot of men out here that are hurting because they can't see their kids. They're hurting because, damn, like every time I pick up my daughter, she doesn't even respect me because her mama's over here just talking crazy about me because she don't know proper boundaries. And they said that's one of the reasons that you have parents that will speak negatively about the other parent, is because you are so focused on getting revenge on your ex that you're not even thinking about your damn child. You are so focused. They mentioned this. Literally, I wrote this down. They mentioned this in the research. They said that the main reason that parents will talk negatively about the other parent is because they are so focused on their own emotions and how mad they are at their ex that they're not even thinking about the child's feelings. They're not asking the child, how do you feel about your daddy? They're just thinking, well, your daddy cheated on me, so your daddy ain't shit, right? And in fact, they listed some reasons here. What was it? 3 reasons. 3 motivations for parental alienation syndrome. 1, there are some situations where there's a pact between, so 2 people break up, right? So y'all both got pregnant, y'all both go your separate ways, you both have a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend. So there are actually scenarios, they said, the psychologists have pointed this out, that one of the motivations for alienating the other parent is basically you're just replacing that motherfucker. Like, you're just literally saying, like, this is your new daddy, like, this is your new mama, like, whatever, right? And you don't want the other parent even involved because you feel like you had an upgrade. Like, so you got a different parent. So you're eliminating the other parent. Another one might be what they call competition between when a family gets together and let's say the mama's new boyfriend is talking shit about the child's father with the girlfriend in front of the child. They said that is competition, that men are maybe competing by basically talking crazy about each other in front of the kids. The kids are taking all this in. The third one is that you're bonding around a common enemy. So as a family, you're all talking about how negative this person is, which actually makes you closer. And you're actually working through your relationship problems or deflecting from them by basically talking together about how much you can't stand the other person. So the other person might say, well, your battles are my battles. And if you don't like him, then I don't like him. Well, the thing is, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. So when, when, for example, my wife, she has an ex-husband. That's their interaction. That's their situation. These are their children. I am the bonus father, right? And there's times where obviously if it got too chaotic or something, I might have to step in, but it doesn't. So they're just because she has an issue with him doesn't mean I have to sit and constantly reinforce negativity about this man in front of his children in that way, right? In this house, in a way that's going to make it difficult for him to connect to his children. Because if I care about the children, I'm going to be a grown up. And that's really what it all boils down to. If you care about the children, you'll grow your raggedy ass up and stop doing immature shit. Excuse my French. I know I'm cussing a lot, but this is a big deal because some people in here are probably doing the same damn thing. And they think, and another thing that they said is that a lot of times when one of the other reasons that people do parental alienation is not just the fact that they have poor boundaries. Like, you ever seen, for example, you ever seen the mother who makes her son into her husband, and she like cries on her son's shoulder like he's her boyfriend, right? And the son is like fucking 14 years old and he's dealing with grown-up shit because his mama doesn't know proper boundaries. She doesn't know that you don't talk to your goddamn 13, 14-year-old son about your man problems or how some man broke your heart. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to call your girlfriend. You're supposed to call your dad, maybe you call your grandma, but you're not, or even a therapist. Everybody needs therapists, but it's crazy to me. Like, there are literally parents who think it's normal to complain about relationship problems to a kid, and the kid's confused as hell. The kid's like, I don't know what to do. And that's one of the things they kept bringing up is that kids get super confused and then the kids get hurt. Like, they grow up and the kids need therapy because their parents put them in a situation where they made them choose. And so they said actually 1 in 4 kids, especially in divorces or breakups, are victims of parental alienation. Basically, parental alienation is defined as the manipulation of the child by turning the child against one of the parents. They said it's usually very subtle. Just little things you might say around the child that you may not even know that you're dogging out the other parent, but you're not speaking positive or affirming words or anything like that, or showing any respect to the role of the father or the role of the other parent, whichever parent's living outside the house. It usually happens to men because men tend to be the ones who are outside the house. They said that some of the remedies in order to deal with parental alienation, first of all, I'm going to tell you, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. When I saw parental alienation up close and I had my own challenging experiences of having a child that didn't live in my house, I just said, if I have a child with a woman, number one, I would never, ever, ever sleep with a woman who does not value the role of the father. I figured out when I was 25 years old, I said, you know what? When people have sex, sometimes they get pregnant. I do not want a raggedy ass woman raising my kids who doesn't respect my role in her life, who doesn't understand why it's very important that I stay involved. Even if she doesn't like me, my child needs to like me, right? My child needs to be around me, right? The second thing I even said, I remember thinking was, if I ever formed a family, I want to be married to someone who wants to at least work on the tools necessary to stay married. Broken families lead to broken bank accounts, broken hearts, broken dreams, broken possibilities. So when you are breaking up your family, it is a type of destruction that distracts you from your ability to accomplish anything. Has anybody ever seen a person who is like heartbroken or constantly stressed out in a relationship and seen how that person can't be productive? They can't get anything done. They can't compete. They can't follow through on anything. And then you ask them, like, what was going on with you? You weren't showing up to the meetings for 6 months. They'd be like, oh, I was going through it with my ex. See, that's what happens. That shit takes you away. That ruins everything, right? Anyway, they said one. So the other thing is, besides an ounce of prevention, in terms of thinking about who you lay down with, which I don't know why a lot of people don't get this. I share this because I'm really kind of sharing it for the people that really like to think on another level. The people are fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Like, the world is just full of stupid people that want to be stupid. Doesn't mean that they can't be smarter. It just means they want to be dumb. So a lot of people will do dumb shit because they saw other people do the same dumb shit and they just think that that's what everybody does. So they just do it. Like, so really, if you want to avoid dumb problems that happen to so many people, use your brain. Like, make a plan, think carefully, like backtrack, figure it out, like look at the process. Like, I looked at the process and I was like, wait, how did you end up in a situation where you're paying all this child support to a woman that you don't even like, and she damn near got you about ready to go to jail, and you wait, but okay, so I get it. Okay, so you met her, you thought she was cute, you just wanted to get some ass, you laid down with her a couple times, you didn't vet her properly to see if she might be crazy, and then you ended up messing up, slipping up, she got pregnant. Next thing you know, years later, she's the mother of your child. Um, I would encourage people to really think strategically about planning your life. Like we can plan, we're able to plan a party, people are able to plan a step show. Well, I would say that you need to plan your life the way you would plan that step show, like because you don't mess up a step show. I don't know about y'all, but in college, I noticed they never fucked up a step show. That step show would be precise and perfect and pristine because they would spend many months practicing for the step show because they didn't want to be embarrassed by messing up on stage. Well, you got to plan your life with that same level of precision. Planned Parenthood is a concept, and it doesn't just involve abortion. Next, they said that if you are in a situation where there is a breakup and it's inevitable, they said a couple things. They said a couple of remedies actually therapists apply are: one, they might remove the child from the abusive environment. So that means that if you are a parent who is alienating the other parent, the court may conclude that you're abusing your child by bad mouthing the father, and they might take your child away. So just know the courts are changing in their behavior. Also, they say that parents who have endured parental alienation, you need therapy. Therapy is extremely important. Parents that go through it, they said that's just like being a victim of domestic violence. You think about it. You loved your child. You want to be involved in your child's life. Somebody took that away from you. That's very, very traumatic. And I know you may not see it that way. And I think for a lot of men, we have to really confront this because we're kind of told to just grin and bear it and just suck it up. And you a man, stop whining. But the shit hurts. It's not fair. It ain't right. Right. So they said literally they recommended therapy for parents that have gone through this. And they said that a lot of the intimate terrorism of parental alienation, where, one parent has alienated the child from the other parent, comes from a lopsided power dynamic, which basically is the parent who has the child in their house has a lot of power over the mind of the child. And so also what can happen as a result of that, particularly if they're upset with their ex, is it can come with a lot of intimidation, a lot of coercion, and a lot of threats. Like, if you don't do XYZ, then you won't get to see your baby. And then sometimes that can be disguised behind something like, well, I would let him see his kids, but his new girlfriend, I don't like his new girlfriend, or whatever, right? And that's really undermining the right of the other parent to have the same rights you have to decide, what's going to happen with that child. You may not like the lifestyle of the other parent, but unless you can prove to not, but if the court has decided that parent is okay to have the access to their child, then you have to honor that. So anybody who has a problem with that, I would suggest going to court, and just once you get to court, just get your rights like laid out in plain English. Let me see here. What else did they said some other areas where parental alienation may come from is actually from, like, say, the new parent that's living in the house with the mother's new boyfriend. In order to actually bond with the mother, he might participate in the bad mouthing of the father, of the child's father, which means he's participating in the abuse. They said sometimes kids may be pressured to participate in the bad mouthing of the other parent out of loyalty, like they're hiding any good feelings they may have about the other parent. I mean, in fact, I heard a therapist one time tell me about a girl who would go, this is actually a white family, where the girl would go see her dad and have an absolute blast. But because she felt guilty about having fun with her father, because she knew her mother hated her father so much, she would literally come back and tell her mother that it was terrible. He was mean to me, blah, blah, blah. So in order to prove that he wasn't abusing her, he literally filmed her having a good time. He like secretly recorded that. And then she went back and was saying, I had a terrible time, blah, blah, blah. He was able to play that tape. That's literally how crazy it got, because the daughter she felt like she had to pick a side. And so anybody who loves their child wouldn't force their child to pick a side. You should definitely never make them feel that way. What else did they say? Yeah, so I think that's it. I think that there's more. I'm still actually going through it, and my wife is really the expert on a lot of this stuff. She's the one who pulled this research up, and I thought it was really fascinating because it made me think about all the brothers I've met who are just pissed and hurt because they didn't do anything wrong. They did their best to be in the life of their child. And here's the thing: I have concluded this. I've mentored a lot of young people. I have god kids that I treat like they're my children. And one rule that I believe to the core of my heart is this: there is a lot of power that the mother has. if in a single parent household, the mother has a tremendous amount of power. If the mother doesn't respect you, then it's going to be damn difficult to get the kids to respect you too, because they're going to line right up with mama. They're going to line right up with whatever mama says. So if mama says, this guy ain't shit, then the kids are going to walk away with that same energy. But if the mother respects you, if the mother says, listen to him, listen to boy. She's like, this has happened in my own life. The children that I have as my god kids, the one I talk to the most, Monique in Denver, and then there's Carmen who's in Louisville. Their mothers, when you say anything about Boyce, it's like, oh yeah, Boyce is great. Talk to Boyce. Boyce is awesome, right? And I'm able to ride that wave to maintain that respect by just obviously being a decent person. But the thing is that if they were speaking in a different direction, like if they were speaking negatively about me, we probably wouldn't even have a relationship. And also, in fact, if you think about, dating or marrying somebody with children, you must get that respect from the mother. If the mother does not go out of her way to make sure that she gives you that respect and has the children reciprocate on that, then do not enter in that relationship. Do not enter in that situation, because it will be very frustrating for you and you're going to want to leave. I even flat out told my wife, I said, I pay very close attention to how you talk to the children about me, and the fact that you ensured and made sure that they respected me meant a lot. That way I don't have to constantly come in here fighting for my respect. Because you're not giving it to me, right? So respect is a big deal. I'm just telling y'all this. So this is my 2 cents on it. If you want to join us tomorrow, it's thedramafreefamily.com. We start at 10 a.m. We go till 3 p.m. And we're not just going to cover the parental alienation stuff. We're actually going to cover everything from just communicating properly as a family so you're not fighting all the damn time, dealing with crazy relatives, dealing with in-laws. And this is all based on research. This is not just, I have my opinions, I have my wisdom and stuff like that, but there's a lot of research out here on how to structure your family properly. And I'm telling you guys, it's just as important or more important than structuring your business properly. If your business is structured properly and your family's not, then your bad family situation is going to ruin your business. It's going to suck up all your wealth. All your money's going to go to divorce courts. It's going to go to paying your ex, because you're going to get a divorce. They're going to take half your money. It's going to go toward all the losses in productivity that come from the fact that fighting all the time is very stressful. And after you get finished fighting all day, you don't have the energy to go do any work. That also doesn't include what you're losing because your family isn't helping you, right? Your partner is not help. If you and your partner are in sync and you are allies, then you're able to get twice as much done. Like I can get a lot of things done because my wife is helping me. I help her, right? But if we're fighting all the time, and I'm not helping her, well, think about it. It would be damn difficult for her to do a lot of shit if I wasn't helping her. Like I help her a lot because we get along enough for us to actually find a way to work together. So manage your family situation. Think about that. Be very conscious and very intentional about it. I guarantee you that will give you a better ROI than any financial investment I could ever talk to you about. So that's my 2 cents. That's it. I'm about to get out of here, guys. And so those of you on Instagram, if you want to go to the bio, the link is in the bio if you want to join us tomorrow. Also, those of you watching, go to thedramafreefamily.com if you'd like to join us in the morning. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good night, and thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. Peace.